Secretary of State and four-star Army general has died. Dignitaries from across the country remember him as a firm leader, a family man, and friend. And news of his passing came early this morning and has left many in shock with a great deal of sadness. Thanks so much for joining us today. For Fox 5 News at 4, I'm Christine Spiro. In a statement, family members revealed Powell died from complications of COVID-19. He was 84 years old. Fox's Caroline Shively has more now from Washington.
Today, presidents and military leaders are remembering the legacy of General Colin Powell, a life cut short by a breakthrough case of COVID-19. General Colin Powell made history as the first black Secretary of State and chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. News of his passing was posted by his family on Facebook, noting that he was fully vaccinated. "We have lost a remarkable and loving husband, father, grandfather, and a great American," the family wrote. During his long and distinguished military career, Powell served in Vietnam as a young Army soldier, then led the U.S. coalition to victory in the Gulf War as chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
The world lost one of the greatest leaders that we have ever witnessed.
Powell grew up in Harlem in the South Bronx in New York City, the son of Jamaican immigrants. President George Bush appointed him as Secretary of State in 2001. His speech before the United Nations in 2003, pushing for the Iraq War, was later found out to be based on faulty intelligence, and Powell would later call that a blot on his record. He served in the Bush administration until 2005. He was once considered a prime candidate for president himself, but chose not to run. President George W. Bush released a statement that reads, "He was such a favorite of presidents that he earned the Presidential Medal of Freedom twice. He was highly respected at home and abroad, and most important, Colin was a family man and a friend." Powell is survived by his children, grandchildren, and wife Alma, his bride of almost 60 years. General Colin Powell was 84. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
An outpouring of support for the Powell family this afternoon. Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has also weighed in on General Powell's passing. She issued this statement, which reads, quote, "I am deeply saddened by the passing of General Colin Powell. General Powell was a consummate statesman whose life work transcends any political entity. He was a warrior until the end, most recently imploring all Americans to get vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus. My thoughts and prayers are with his wife Alma, their children, and their families. The world has lost a hero." This afternoon, Fox 5 caught up with former U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Dr. Sullivan. He reflected on his time with General Powell and his impact on other leaders while serving under President George H.W. Bush and President George W. Bush.
During his tenure there, he was an outstanding leader, articulate, very clear in his goals, very collaborative in his work with others, and he gave good advice to the president and to the cabinet and to the administration in general.
Dr. Sullivan also said, quote, "While we mourn his passing, we congratulate him and his family on a great career." Now,